Hello everyone, welcome to yet another live Q&A. As always, I will test the audio. I need to wait for the stream to come up. And yeah, if you have already joined, please do let me know in the chat. How's the audio? Once I have confirmation from my monitoring device, I should be good to go. Yeah, seems like the audio is working fine. There is a bit of a lag, but should be all right. So hi everyone, it's a good weekend, nice sunny day outside, but a little bit on a hotter side, like 28 degrees here. Yeah, a little bit hot, but it's all good. I did post a post in the post section. Yeah, so previously on YouTube it used to be a community section, but now they have changed it to posts. So I did make a post asking for questions. I will go to that post and see if there were any questions. I don't think there were any, but I will still take a look and see if there were any. And if there were any questions, I will first take those questions and then I will start taking the ones which you have in the chat. I could see we have a few people joining in, so yeah, that's good. I will give a little bit more time for people to join. In the meantime, I will go and take a look. It doesn't seem like there were any questions there, but I do see some questions here in the chat, so I will take these questions first. Hi Goku, I'm doing good. How about you? I was about to watch the data science abroad do's and don'ts video and notification popped up. Yeah, I think it's a good video. I have started to convert that long video into shorts as well. I have posted like 3 or 4 shorts video out of that. Maybe if people don't want to watch that long video, I don't know, but I think I've covered quite a lot of things in that video and it should give you a good framework as to what things you should do and what things you should avoid, so that you can make most out of your master's degree. So yeah, do give it a go. I hope you will find that video helpful. There were few questions in the Telegram group which I remember. So I'm just opening the Telegram group. See. Yeah, right. So the discussion was going on around finding a job in the UK. How are things here? And someone mentioned that his friend was trying to find a job in the UK and couldn't find, but he went back to India. He was able to find a job there. And yes, I have seen quite a lot of people doing the same thing and they're able to find a job. And I think he also mentioned that his friend had 4 years of experience or something. Yes, 4 years of experience, but he couldn't find a job in the UK. And yes, you are trying to find a job in the UK in the data science industry, then it's not just about technical skills. And even if you are just betting everything on technical skills, you have to be extremely good, because there are other people who are really good with their technical skills. So either you have to be extremely good in your technical abilities, then maybe people might ignore a little bit of your communication skills, but you really need to work on your communication skills if you want to find something in the UK. Is because as a data scientist, well, it has to be for any other skills as well, but especially for data science related roles, when you try to find some uh, root cause, or if you do some analysis and when you have to present it to your stakeholders, you need to be really good with your communication so that the stakeholders can actually use those insights and make use of it for the business impact. If you're not able to do that, then all your analysis is of no use really, and you will be working in a lot of interdisciplinary kind of teams, so not everyone will be technically aware of all the technical terms that you use. So in interviews, you have to assess whether the panel has mix of technical and non-technical members, or everyone is technical. So that way you can switch your language a little bit. If you have a mixed panel, then you need to probably use technical jargons, but then also use non-technical jargon so that everyone can understand what you are talking about, but then also don't feel like you don't know certain things. So yeah, you need to be very mindful about how the panel is, and based on that you need to switch your communication, and that is very important when you're preparing for the interview. So maybe that is the reason why his friend couldn't find a job here, but when he went back to India, he was able to find something there. So yeah, that was kind of a discussion which was going on in the Telegram group. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. There was one more thing. So that was about data analytics side of things. There was one person, he asked, how about AI and ML? Well, basically AI ML is a subset of data science, or it has intersection with data science. So it is kind of same for that as well. So it's not like if you do a data, or if you do a AI course, or if you do a machine learning course and you become AI engineer after doing your masters, it will be easy for you in interviews. You will still need your communication skills there, and strong technical skills. So yeah, that was about that. I have a few more questions in the chat, so I will start taking them. Hello bro, what should we do while pursuing masters in UK? Career opportunity in other countries like Canada, Germany, US after completing M. Okay. You sure can apply to other countries as well. USA, Canada, they are fine because they are predominantly English speaking countries, so you should be fine. But if you try to apply to some of the European countries, I would suggest maybe learn the local language and then try to find a job in those markets. That way you will have a lot more opportunities. Well, you can apply with your English language itself and you may be able to find it, but I would highly suggest learning the local language. And well, in the meantime you are applying, learn a local language as well, so that after a certain point you can put that skill in your CV, and that might give you a lot more opportunity. You can certainly apply to other countries. When I was applying for jobs, initially I started applying for jobs only in the UK, but then I thought, let's try other countries as well. And I don't remember which country it was, but it was one of the European countries, and I applied and I even got interview scheduled. I went through a couple of rounds, but before I was able to finalize that offer, I received an offer within the UK, so I went for that. So yes, it is possible you can apply to other jobs as well, but it won't be as, it's not like it's easy to find a job in the UK, but it will be slightly little bit more difficult to find a job in other countries, because then you'll have to apply for a fresh visa there. You may not have any a post-study work visa sort of thing there. But yeah, you can definitely apply to jobs there. And if you're asking for what you should do while pursuing, I have a dedicated video about do's and don'ts. That's exactly what we were talking about a little bit earlier in this Q&A. Do check out that video. If you want a link, I can drop the link in the chat. Let me quickly copy that link. It's a very recent video. That shouldn't be that difficult to find. There you go. Are there any job consultancies here which help in finding a job? So there are consultancies. Usually they post their jobs or the clients with whom they are working with on LinkedIn. So when you apply for those jobs, usually you will see a lot of favorite food. Interesting. So yeah, when you apply for those jobs, they will keep your CVs, And if you have applied for certain jobs, and even if that job is gone, they may reach out to you after certain months or weeks, if they feel like your CV is good. So that's how they do it here. But yeah, I mean, if you search for job consultancies, you should be able to find a lot of them on Google. I haven't personally went through any. I personally didn't go to any of the consultancies directly or provided my CV to them and ask for their support and things like that. But I did receive quite a few calls from consultancies um, yeah, regarding certain job applications and things like that. So once you apply, they will keep your CV. Is there any fully funded PhD opportunities in the UK in CS or IT? Any? Yes, there are. So when I was still in my masters, I did find, yeah, I did find a very interesting project. It was related to, uh, yeah, it was related to brainwave or something like that. Um, I don't remember the details exactly, but yeah, it was related to something like that, and it was a fully funded PhD. So yes, there are opportunities. There are less fully funded PhD for international students, but still there are uh, projects or PhD research opportunities. Right. Large. Hello. I don't think we have talked before. What is my favorite food? Well, there are quite a lot of Indian foods which I like. Um, I don't know how that is relevant, but yeah. I like Rajma chawal, I guess. It's one of my favorite food, and then aloo paratha. Not sure if you know those things or not, but yeah, those are some of my favorite food. Asking for a friend doing masters in USA but want to look elsewhere. He doesn't even up while just earning and PhD. Right. So your friend is currently pursuing masters in US and he's trying to look for a PhD. I suppose that's what you're asking. Yeah, after doing your masters in the US as well, there are opportunities like I mentioned. So it's just you need to find that right opportunity, whichever you are interested in, and the research project which is relevant to you, the one you like it. Um, Based on that, you can apply. So there are some websites. I think it's My PhD Finder or PhD Finder, something like that. On that website, you can simply search for a specific domain, and then you can read about what that PhD is all about. And if it is something you are interested in, you can always directly reach out to the university and the project lead. And yeah, if they are happy with your profile, you should be able to get that PhD. PhD project. Hey Ashutosh. Hope your health is good. Is it sunny there? Yeah, it is a nice sunny day outside. I can quickly take a picture. Show can. Not sure if you can see, but it's a nice sunny day. A lot of trees. Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice sunny day. A little bit hot, like 28 degrees Celsius, 27 degrees Celsius right now. So it's a bit hot, but it's good. It's good. I have kept the windows closed for two main reasons. If I open the windows, a lot of flies will come in because, as you saw, there are quite a lot of trees. And the other one is if I open the window, there will be a little bit of a noise. So yeah, I don't want the noise to come in. So yeah, because of that, it's a little hot. How are you? How are you, Ashutosh? Yeah. Um, I was talking to my brother um, earlier this week, and he was mentioning the same. It's crazy hot there, and I was also looking at the temperature. So it's above 40 degrees Celsius, which is crazy hot. Where are you in India, Ashutosh? Is there any chance that companies who do not have a sponsorship license will hire, or there's no point in applying? It's not like that. Sometimes um, the companies who are still not approved or cannot sponsor your visa, they can still hire you for a couple of years, and sometimes they get the approval and they apply for the license, and once they get the license they can sponsor your uh, visa as well. Because the first job which I had, it was a startup. I was probably their first employee, and they didn't have the license to sponsor my visa, so they still hired me, and then they applied for a license. So yeah, I would say you should apply to all the jobs, and if you keep on trying to check which companies are licensed, which companies are not, it's going to take a lot of time for you to figure out which companies to apply to or not. So I would say apply to all the companies, and even if they don't have the license to sponsor your visa, they can eventually get it. It's not a big deal. And even if they can't, at least you will have 1 to 2 years of experience working in that company, which will come in handy if you try to find a sponsorship job after you you have that particular role. So what I would suggest is try to apply to all the companies, and if you're able to get an offer from a company which does not have a license, uh, work in that company for a year or so, and then start looking for somewhere else if that company is not willing to get the license. So that way you will have some UK experience that will definitely help you in finding a sponsorship job elsewhere. Hyderabad, right? Yeah, it can get hot there. I've never been to Hyderabad, but I've heard it's a relatively hot place. What's going on? What are you doing these days, Ashutosh? And so far, if you're finding this live Q&A helpful, please do give it a thumbs up. From past couple of weeks, we haven't had this chat. I did come, but um, nobody joined the live Q&A. I think you didn't really have um any questions, which is good. So yeah, but I still came and I tried creating that template sort of things, and I posted in the community section. Well, post section now. I keep calling it community section so that you can post your questions there, and I will try to answer those questions first, and then we can take these questions in the chat. And if you have any follow-up questions, you can always ask follow-up questions. um I'm doing the same, applying for all the jobs because it already takes time. Checking for each job would take unnecessary extra time. Yeah, I agree. So that's what you should do. Try to apply to as many jobs as possible. And how was your interview? You mentioned in a couple of live Q&As you had some interview scheduled. How did it go? Um, how was your experience and things like that? Cybersecurity is good career options. I am confused between data field and AI ML field, which is high salary and future proof. Please help. Confused between both of them are in demand because with AI and ML developments and advancements, there are a lot of cyber threats as well. So companies do need cybersecurity engineers. So it is in demand. And if you have right amount of skills, you can fetch a good salary there as well. And as you know, AI, ML, those kind of things is moving at a rapid pace, and these things are changing every single day, and a lot of the companies are investing in this domain. So there is demand for this as well. At the end of the day, what I usually suggest to people is go with the one which you really like, because cybersecurity is a very different field as compared to uh, AI. So you have to really think about which one you like. Don't worry too much about the salary. You will be able to get equal amount of salary in both the fields, and they both have opportunities. So maybe spend a little bit of time trying to figure out what skills are needed for cybersecurity and what skills are needed for AI. And depending on that, you need to make your decision which one attracts uh, you the most. If you like maths side of things, then maybe AI will be the option to go for. But if you like networking side of things, different kind of protocols, then maybe cybersecurity could be the one for you. So yeah, you have to do a little bit of research, and I think these large language models like ChatGPT or Google Gemini, Claude, they are really good in terms of um, figuring out which one you should go for. So you can tell it all your interests and likes, dislikes, your expertise, your background, those kind of things, and then also ask what skills are needed for both of these fields. And once you have a list of field in your hand, it should be fairly straightforward for you to decide which one to go for. So that's one way. But if you can't figure out that way, I can try to help you. I won't say that I'm an expert in cybersecurity, so that is something which I may not be able to help you with. But if you still are confused, I can take a look and help you with that. But now I see more jobs asking that question: do you require sponsorship? And I think checking yes there ends the opportunity. There's that itself maybe. Um, the answer is yes and no. Okay, this is on that other thing. Yeah, so the answer is yes and no, because um I have tried both actually. I tried when I was on my post-study work visa. I applied for number of jobs where I said no, I don't need, because I had right to work for 2 years. So why should I say yes? So I said no, and I did receive call the from various companies. And when I applied using yes, then also I received. And then on our first initial call, they did ask, will you need a sponsorship after a certain number of years? And I said yes, and it was still a startup. So then also I received an interview invite. So I would say, if you still have, let's say, more than a year on your post-study work visa, you should probably say no, I don't need. When you get your first initial call, then you can maybe discuss about those things in detail. Like, you have 2 years of post-study work visa, and then after that you will need skilled worker visa and things like that. So at least you will have that first initial call, and in that first initial call they can also evaluate a little bit of your communication and things like that. And if they like it, probably they will be like, yeah, that's fine, we like your experience, we like your projects, we like your skills, we like your communication, things like that. And that would, they'll be like, okay, fine, let's hire this candidate for a year or two, and then we can evaluate whether we want to sponsor or not. So I would say maybe you can go ahead with that. And for now you can say no, I don't need sponsorship. But then when you receive a call, you can discuss that in greater detail. Only one interview in credit risk modeling. It was a nice experience but couldn't make. They wanted someone exactly with same experience. I had the knowledge, but the other 4 hour coding assessment I gave earlier, I haven't heard anything back from them, so maybe it didn't make it through. So finding it difficult. When you don't receive anything from the interviewers, I highly recommend reaching out to them. Send them an email asking for where is the what is the status of the previous round and things like that. Because sometimes what happens is, even if HR receive the results from the panel, they for some reason delay things. So it has happened with me. I went through one of the interviews but didn't receive for a week or so. I went back to them and they were like, yeah, you have been moved to the next round, so we will be scheduling those calls uh, in coming weeks. So those things happen. So I would highly recommend reaching out to them, and getting a little bit of a clarification on that. Oh, I missed your message, Ashutosh. I'm working on computer vision. Yeah, nice. I haven't worked on computer vision for a while now. Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't worked on computer vision. Lately, I've been working on natural language processing side of things. Yes, I emailed them, to which they replied, still available. There were so many. Some okay, yeah, yeah. I personally follow this rule of thumb where if I don't receive anything within a week, I reach out to them. So you have emailed them, that's good. If you don't get anything within next week or so, then maybe reach out to them again, and hopefully they will let you know. So I haven't applied for jobs in a long time now, so I don't know exactly what type of data science roles are there in the market right now. So from your perspective, Saumita, what do you think, from which domain you're seeing a lot of jobs? Is it from healthcare, finance, or supply chain, or any other domain? Which type of domains are posting a lot more number of data science jobs? I have another initial HR call on. That's good. All the best. But that company doesn't have a sponsor license. I don't have any, but I am scared HR. I mean, those are the things which are not really in our hands. If they choose to not go ahead with us, then it is what it is. But from your side, you should just try your best and try to get at least one offer. So yeah, I would say, I would suggest keep your motivation high, and try to do your best. The rest of the things are there in their hands, so don't worry too much about it. Hey Atharv. Stream's current bitrate is, I have no idea. This warning pops up all the time. Bro, our last discussion in the group. Oh yeah, we were talking about that just uh, some time ago in this live Q&A, and I was saying that AI is kind of a subset of data science, and they have a very uh, big intersection. So the job market is same for AI and data science. So if you just pursue masters in AI, it doesn't mean that you can get away with interviews just with some basic technical skills and without any communication skills. So communications are very important when it comes to finding a job in current job market in the UK. For me personally, I think it should finance jobs, other credit risk roles also, retail supply. Yeah, yeah, I think I remember the kind of a same distribution when I was applying for jobs. I think finance is always the most popular one, and then there are other domains as well. About MSc in AI and jobs, is it worth coming for like 2026? So for everyone, the worth is a very different criteria, whether it's worth or not. If you're able to find a job at the end, yes, it is worth. But for some people, finding a job might not be the key. They probably just want to experience some international academic culture, make some good connections and things like that. So for them, it might be worth pursuing. And for some people, they just come here, study, go back to their home country, and then find a job there. If they're able to do that, then that is what is worth. So I think it's important to define what's worth for you. I am assuming it's finding a job in the UK and probably settle. In that case, the answer is a bit tricky for 2026 is because there are quite a lot of changes that have been proposed by the government, and they might bring it next year around April time. So nothing is confirmed yet. But once those things are confirmed, then I should be able to answer whether you should come to UK or not. Because the first thing they proposed was they're going to make this so to get PR in the UK for now, you have to be on a skilled worker visa uh, for 5 years, and then you can apply for PR. But they are going to make that 10 years, so it's going to take much longer time. If you're okay with that, then it's no problem. The next one is they're going to reduce the post-study work visa from 2 years to 18 months. Again, these things are still just on white paper. Nothing's been confirmed, but those things have been proposed. So if they do that, you have a little bit less time to apply for jobs, but essentially you will still get 2 years is because your student visa is not only valid for 1 year, it is actually valid for 1.5 years. You will get 6 months there, and then you will have 18 months on your post-study work visa. So you will have approximately 2 years to find a job. Right now it's 2.5 years for people. So yeah, those are the two key things that might affect you in your master's experience and trying to find a job in the UK. So nothing's been confirmed. Once those things are confirmed, then maybe you will uh, you will have a better answer. So Pal, just for a single shot, MS in AI and MS in finance, career, salaries, and long term, who's making the best? I think people in finance domain definitely make a lot more money than people in AI ML, but then there might be people in AI ML side as well who might be making more money as compared to finance. But in general, people in finance make a lot more money than people in tech industry. That was simple. And what if marry a Brit? Well, does it clear the path? Yes, it should, but I think, well, I don't know exactly what are the rules around that, so you may have to do a little bit more digging on that front. So yeah, I mean, I think it was a little bit easier in the past. I don't know how it is right now because I did remember talking to someone in one-to-one sessions probably last year, and he was mentioning few different things. So yeah, you may want to do a little bit more search on that front, but yeah, it is definitely possible, and you should be able to get PR or even citizenship relatively quickly as compared to someone who is following this whole skilled worker visa route. Sataru Gojo. We are so lucky to have you, Sataru Gojo. That's a good name. Um, I think it's been a while. Hey bro, I love your channel. Thanks for taking out time and making such informative videos. I am an incoming MS and data science and AI student. Could you please give some input about MS and data science? What specifically you want me to talk about? Just earlier I shared a video called do's and don'ts of masters in data science. I will paste the link again. Hopefully this video should give you good understanding about what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and there are a lot of other videos as well that might answer most of your questions. But if you have anything specific which you couldn't find on my channel, then I'm more than happy to answer those questions. It might be a cliche question now, but do you have any motivational advice on how to keep going through the job search? Here becomes stressful, disappointing with time. I totally understand. It can be demotivating at times and depressive as well. There are a couple of things that you can do. First one is obviously keep applying, which is very which you might already know and you might be doing it anyways. Other things, talk to your professors, talk to your batchmates, talk to your batchmates who have found a job, and also talk to batchmates who haven't. So if you feel like you're alone and you're struggling to keep up with these things, talking to your batchmates and professors is definitely going to help, because sometimes they can give you very good advice, and they are also in a very similar situation as to yours. So if you talk to them, sit with them, maybe talk about some projects, talk about attending events, and yeah, just be in touch with those guys because they share a lot of things as you do. So that can give you a feeling of not being alone, and there are people in your in a similar situation as that of yours. So do those things. I think that is definitely going to help you. And to keep my mind busy, because if you just keep on applying for jobs day in day out, it can become very boring and stressful. I used to just work on some personal projects, fun projects here and there, and things like that. So that used to keep my mind busy. And when my mind was busy, I was not thinking about jobs and stuff. I was just thinking about working on those projects. And while working on those projects, I was learning quite a lot of new things. And then that was giving me confidence that, okay, if there is an interview, I should be able to perform better because now I know few more skills. So I think those are the few things that uh, I used to do. And the last thing is, I was not really thinking too much about what if I'm not able to get a job, is because that is something which is not there in my hand. Like, what will be the decision from HR side or the company side? Those things are not in my hand. All I can do is perform my best in those interviews. I was not really thinking too much about what will happen if this doesn't go my way. I was just trying to make most out of what I had, and I was trying to live in the present rather than thinking about the future, because it's just gonna pile up and it will be stressful. And I was also not thinking about the past, the interviews which I went through. Some interviews went really good, some interviews didn't. So yeah, I was not really thinking about the past because I just can't change those things. And also thinking about job market right now is not good, is because you can't control it. It is what it is. So I would suggest just try to focus on your own personal development and try to keep learn new things that are there, and also be in touch with people like your batchmates and professors as well. So I think those are the few things which I can suggest and advise. I'm just trying to think about other things, but yeah, I mean, those are the things which I can think of. But I have also talked about a lot of things again in this do's and don'ts video. I highly recommend to everyone who is either pursuing masters or planning to pursue masters. What finance does this lift AI salaries? I mean, come on, bro. Finance, is it even a satisfying career? I'm not sure if I get your question, but when we say finance, I mean people in accounting and those kind of domains, and not specifically in tech industry. But if you are a tech uh, individual and you want to get into finance domain, for example, you want to work for a investment firm or you want to work for a bank as a AI engineer, then you might get a good salary as compared to someone who is in, let's say, some other domain. But when compared to someone who is in the accounting side of things or who is managing the portfolios and things like that, then your salary might still be less as compared to those guys. And having a satisfying career is not just about having more salary, it's about what you like doing. If you are getting paid quite a lot but you don't like doing that job, then I personally don't think that's a satisfying career. But if there is a job where you are getting paid enough, but then that is something which you absolutely love doing, then I think it's a career worth pursuing. So that's just my personal philosophy. It is different for different people. Some people get into a specific domain simply because it pays them a lot, even though they don't like going to the office. They don't like waking up in the morning to do that job. They still cry, they complain about how bad the job is, but they are doing it just because they're getting paid a lot. So yeah, I mean, it depends on how you uh, define this satisfying career. I would like to know the current 2025 job scenario, specifically in data science and AI, and maybe how we can find a part-time job over at Newcastle. So job market is definitely bad. I'll be very honest here. And when I say bad, the number of jobs have dropped and it's way less as compared to uh, let's say 2021 or 2022. But there are still jobs. And one other thing is um, the number of people who are coming to the UK for masters um, are also less. So there were quite a lot of people. They came in 2021, and the competition was extremely high. I'm not saying the competition is not high now. It is still very high, but the number of people coming to the UK for masters now is less. So I think the competition is exactly the same what it was um, previous year or last to last year. But the number of jobs are less, and when there are a lot of people in the job market with some experience, I think it makes life hard for people who don't have any experience. So you'll have to do something extraordinary when compared to people with experience, so that you will be the first option. Um, so that's that. The next thing is how we can find. Um, if you're asking about part-time jobs related to data science, then I would suggest if you are and you are in Newcastle. So um, there is this app called meetup.com, and they have meetups um, every month, I think, or every quarter, something like that. If you search for data analytics meetup, something like that, you will be able to find it. It is always, well, historically, it has always been organized by Jumping Rivers. I don't know if they still do it or not, but yeah, I mean, try to search for it. You should be able to find it. and try to attend those meetups. A lot of professionals come there, try to talk to different people and see what they are doing. Are there any opportunities? If you would like to present, you can also present in that meetup about a project that you worked on, and if someone likes it, you might be able to get an internship there as well. And also talk to people at reception in the Catalyst building if there are any um, openings or things like that that you can do. And then also you can search on universities websites and things like that. So those are some of the things that you can do to find data science related part-time job or internship. But if you're talking about simply just part-time job, then I'm not exactly sure what to suggest, because I didn't do any part-time job. I tried to get an internship and I was able to. So that's why I have more knowledge about how to find an internship and things like that. But I do have a video, probably a couple of years back, I did that video talking about how to find jobs. So I had a friend, he did part-time job in Newcastle. So he gave some information as to how to find part-time jobs and things like that. So that video might be helpful. What is promotion process over there, like annually or what? Not annually, and also it depends on the organization structure. Some organizations are a lot more flat, where you have only like 5-6 levels between you and the CEO. And then there are certain organizations where the hierarchy is pretty deep. So if the hierarchy is pretty deep, then you might get promotion every couple of years or something like that. But if the organization structure is flat, then obviously it is not possible to get promotion every year or every couple of years. That takes a little bit more time. So it depends a lot on the organization structure. A choice: MS in UK AI versus US as a great salary and a life setting abroad. Life settling abroad. What's your salary? US, hands down. In US the salaries are a lot higher as compared to what you have in the UK. When it comes to settling abroad, it's difficult. I mean, you have asked this question a lot and I've answered the same thing, and I'm going to answer the same thing again. Is totally depend on how the regulations are going to be next year in the UK. As of now, if you want to settle abroad, then still UK is better than US. And I'm talking about that as of today. It might change in future. So so that's that. And you have another question, I'll come back to you. Thanks bro for the detailed insight. No problem. And what about your status, like about visa? So I am on skilled worker visa, and I've got this visa a couple of years back, so I'm about to complete 2 years on skilled worker visa. And salary after finishing your masters, salary was 35,000, I think, the first salary that I got, but it was only for a couple of months because I got laid off from that because the startup didn't get the project, and that was the major project that they were about to get. So they didn't really have any funding. And then after that, I found another job which was 40 plus. So yeah, that's the kind of starting salary which I had after finishing my masters. And future plans. So future plans are, so the current future plan is to just keep working where I'm working, because I really like the work culture. I really like the projects that I'm currently working on, and things like that. About settlement and stuff, I really haven't thought about it, is because again, a lot of things are changing here in the UK, and I will decide based on what are the regulation changes that will come next year. So I don't really have any plans about future, because I can plan 100 other things, but it all depends on the external factors which are not there in my hand. And if I plan and if I start working towards those things and just put those things in stone and be like, yes, this is exactly what I want, and things change which are not in my control, then it will just lead to disappointment. I just want to be very flexible and just take things as they come and go. So yeah, I don't really have a concrete future plan. I can be here for much longer duration or maybe not. So I don't really have any plans. It only depends on external factors. Is the surrounding peaceful and happy, or any racial issues? That's a good question. um I will first answer the last part. In past couple, so I've been here since 2021, so approximately it's about to be 4 years. And in past 4 years, I had never faced any racism or anything of that sort, especially in the professional setup. It is actually quite good. But in past couple of months, I have seen few people out on the road acting weird. So I would say, if people are educated and um, from a proper working class and things like that, I think they are good. They don't do any kind of racism. So I would say for majority of things it's good, but then there will be those odd people every now and then which you might come across. You may just have to ignore them. So so far, no problem at all when it comes to racism and things like that. It's all good. Peaceful surrounding and happy. Yes, I totally think that the place where I'm living and majority of the places are peaceful. I like living here. The major thing for me was when I came to the UK was colder or cooler temperatures, because in India, you might know, temperatures can go pretty high. And I prefer colder places, and that's exactly what I get here. Yes, there are a couple of days like these where the temperature is pretty high and it's very hot, but for most parts, I think it's good. So that's something which I personally like. And yes, it is peaceful and I'm really happy living here. So for me, it all worked out, and it seems to be working out quite well. I've done various 7 plus projects and have already made them available on GitHub. Also plan to complete more projects and courses before the MS starts. That's really good. Will this help me in getting an internship? Yes, definitely. I mean, having those projects on your GitHub in a proper structured way um, shows a lot of professionalism in your work. You know how to manage your projects and things like that, which is good. So it will definitely help. And as soon as you start your masters, I would suggest start applying for internships. And yeah, I think you should be able to find something. Wow, all of a sudden it became quite dark. Well, there was a forecast that it is going to rain in about half an hour or something like that. So seems like it's gonna rain quite heavily. It all became quite dark. And how about the medical part? How do the things work, like insurance and all? So here in the UK, let me quickly turn on this lamp. A bit more light seems like. I was sitting in a dark. I hope the light is better now and you're able to see me properly. Yeah, so when you apply for visa, be it student visa or skilled worker visa or post-study work visa, you pay certain amount for your health surcharge, and it includes a lot of things like you can go to GP, get yourself checked, and things like that, and you don't really need to pay anything for that. So that's good. And if you are someone who is working, you do get insurance from the company side. Obviously, you pay a certain amount, and um, you do get insurance from that as well. You can choose not to, because you can always use um, the GP services and things like that. You should be good. Just a quick moment. I'm getting a call. Not sure what it is. It could be important. Well, it's gone. So I'll take that call later. Um, yeah. So that's about the medical side of things. How good is Newcastle University? Is it possible to get a job post my master's data science from Newcastle University? I am taking a loan and going on. Please suggest. I was the same. I also took education loan for my master's, and I'm still paying it. Um, so I would say yes. It's a good university for me. It was a very good university. The course curriculum was really good, and there were a lot of resources that the university provided, not in not just in terms of educational resources, but also in terms of professional resources. They have a dedicated building where they work with a lot of companies. They do research work. So if you want to find a internship or some research project, things like that, it is relatively easy to find. But do know that there will be other students as well trying to find. So you have to be very proactive. If you start applying and finding those things soon, you should be able to get something. But it's not just about applying soon, and I'm sure you know that you need to have right skills and interest as well. So but then at least university is providing those resources, so it's good. They even have a startup, um what do they call it, startup department or something like that. So if you have some idea and if you really want to work on that, you can always reach out to um, people there, and you can consult with them. They can guide you as to what are the steps you need to take, how to do market analysis and things like that. And yeah, those things are really good. You should definitely check out. In terms of career service and things like that, they're also good. Professors were really good. They might have changed by now, but there were some professors which I personally felt like were not really that good, but majority of the professors who were actually taking the classes, they were really good, very knowledgeable. So all in all, for me, Newcastle University was thumbs up. And yeah, it is possible to find a job with the right amount of effort and things like that. But do note that overall job market in the UK is very rough right now, and it is very competitive. So well, it is exactly the same anywhere else as well. So yeah, you just have to put a little bit more effort and stay motivated. All right, so we have reached the 1 hour mark, and I hope I was able to answer all of your questions. If you found this live Q&A helpful, please do give it a thumbs up. It keeps me motivated to come back and answer your questions. And as I mentioned earlier, I always post it in the post section. If you have any questions, you can always post it there, and I will take those questions before answering any of the questions in the chat. And if you have any follow-up questions, you can always come back and ask in the live Q&A. I have one last question. I will take that question, and we'll see you next week. What about next year, like job market for AI next year? Any thoughts? You're welcome, Samita. Next year, well, the investment from a lot of different organizations and government is increasing when it comes to AI. So the number of jobs in the AI domain should increase theoretically, but it's not just about the investment. It also comes down to a lot of other external factors like how the world economy is doing and things like that. There seem to be war everywhere, and if it continues to be that way, then maybe the job market will also stay the same or maybe even worse. So there are a lot of things which we don't know about, and those things can still happen and impact the job market. But just simply looking at the investment in the AI domain, theoretically, yes, it should be better next year. Hi Fukran, sure, I can take one last question. Please do post it in the chat. And yeah, this would be the last question which I will take for today. See you, Athar. Next Q&A session. So I do these Q&As every Saturday 12 p.m. UK time, and I also post the notification in Telegram group and also in Discord server. So I think those are the good places to be in if you want to be notified about these live Q&A sessions. I want to have a one-to-one conversation with you on data scientist role and job. I respect your time, and we can settle this thing if you provide me. Sure, I will put it in the chat. I have 4 years of work experience. It's okay for UK? Yes, definitely. If you have 4 years of work experience, that is definitely good, and it definitely helps in finding a job. So it's good, yeah. But as I mentioned earlier, need to have good communication skills as well. So it has to be like a overall package rather than just focusing on one or the other thing. Okay, Furkan, thank you everyone. Thanks for joining. I hope I was able to answer all of your questions. I will see you next Saturday 12 p.m. UK time. Have a great weekend. Bye. Happy learning.